Greetings everyone and welcome back to my channel. My name is the Fearless Hyena, and today it's been a long time since I've wanted to make this video. It's going to be a video about all of my Chang Cheh Brothers film collection. So I've noticed that my one of my most popular video on YouTube was Kar-leung Brothers Kung Fu film collection. And I know a lot of people ask me to make more video, so today it's going to be a big one because I have a lot of Chang Cheh movie. Chang Cheh, guys, if you didn't know who was Chang Cheh, he was the #1 director at the Shaw's during the late 60s and early 70s. He in 1975 he went on to make and produce independent films, so he left the Shaws, but he came back after. But during that time when he left the Shaws, Kar-leung took over as the #1 director at the Shaws. And what's cool about Chang Cheh is that most of his classic kung fu films are signed by the choreography of Kar-leung. So Chang Cheh worked with Kar-leung during his early career, and the two of them produce and make excellent kung fu films. Obviously, Chang Cheh was known for his bloody scenes and making violent film. A lot of people in the Hong Kong industry, like John Woo, went on record to say that Chang Cheh was a great influence on them because he really was the first Hong Kong director to emphasize the role of the male star and to put on screen a very manly star. So that's why, I mean, when you see a John Woo film, you can see the influence there. So and before I begin, first of all, I've put all of his film in chronological order. So I will tell you guys when the movie was made, and it's very important because in the 60s the wuxia genre was very popular. In Hong Kong, you know, fantastical swordplay film were very popular, and most of the time it was a female lead who was in the movie. I guess it was a good way to bring the audience to the cinema. But that's one of the things that Chang Cheh changed, is he put male star in his film, and he started to make more violent movies. But the wuxia genre is a very nice genre. It always tells the Chinese legend from Chinese folklore, and even though it's fantastical a story, it's very good. So maybe one of my video will be with all of my wuxia picture. So let's begin, because there's a lot of Chang Cheh film. All right. So here we are in the 60s. This is one of his early movies at the Shaw, Temple of the Red Lotus, starring Jimmy Wang Yu, and it's a good film. It's a wuxia picture. Like I said, we're in the 60s, so this is a wuxia picture. So a fantastical tale of Chinese folklore, a lot of magical kung fu, and a lot of weapon involved. But the stories, the costume, and the sets on those ones are excellent. So Temple the Red Lotus. Now here's a great classic. It's the follow-up to Come and Drink With Me with Chang Pei. This one stars again Chang Pei, the female lead here, Jimmy Wang Yu, and Lo Lei. And this is called Golden Swallow. It's a follow-up to the Come and Drink With Me wuxia picture. Very nice film, a lot of action, and highly recommended if you like fantastical martial art film. Now, one of the Chang Cheh had a lot of favorite actors. One of them was David Chang. So here he is in a Wuxia picture, The Wandering Swordsman. It's a good film. You have to know that David Chang was not really well known for his kung fu and martial arts skill. His best skill was obviously acting and charisma, but still great film. Now here's an excellent film, The Assassin. Now this is the kind of film that can I have some focus here? Yeah. This is one of the films that maybe John Woo was greatly influenced. A typical story of one man against an army. In that case, Jimmy Wang Yu, and there's a lot of bloodshed in that film. So a late '60s Wuxia picture from Chang Cheh. Now here is the classic trilogy. I have the box set, The One-Armed Swordsman. This movie put Jimmy Wang Yu on the map, and same thing with Chang Cheh. So here's the box set from Celestial. Very nice box set. So the first one was The One-Armed Boxer. So Jimmy Wang Yu plays again the hero. He loses his arm. The cinematography and the sets are incredible. I mean, wow! I mean, Shaw Brothers were really strong at producing and making great sets, and the action is also very nice. But still, it's not a hand-to-hand combat. You have a Wuxia picture does not have a lot of hand-to-hand combat because this guy was not on the scene. He was in the United States doing his things, but when he came to Hong Kong in the early 70s, everything changed. So, but we're here in the early 60s, in the late 60s. So again, a swordplay film, but very nicely done. One of the great classic. The follow-up, Return of the One-Armed Swordsman. More bloody, I think. This one is more violent, so I guess if it's your thing, go for it. There was a third film. This one starred David Chang, because Jimmy Wang Yu went on his own, and also after that was enrolled by Golden Harvest, the rival studio of Shaw Brothers, and I guess he had differential contract terms with Ron Shaw, who was the president of the Shaw Brothers. So David Chang, Jimmy Wang Yu left Shaw Brothers, and David Chang made the third film. It's a great film, very great. It's a nice film. A good, a nice fact about this film: Shaw Brothers, they built an entire bridge just to make the final fight in that film. So very nice film. Alright, so here let's go with it's the end of the 60s, the early 70s. This one is a real classic in the Chang Cheh filmography, Vengeance. I mean, the title says it all. It's a very intense and violent film about vengeance, and it was one of the first, so because now there's a lot of vengeance in movies, but this one was one of the first, and it starred young Ting Long, and David Chang. Very bloody, very intense, recommended. Alright, so this one is cool, and again another, even though we're in the early 70s, you can see with the costume, we are still in the Wuxia genre. This is King Eagle with Ting Long, and again, Chang Cheh was known for a bloody scene, and here's a great example. Good one. This one, it's, just make sure, it's 1971. Alright, so Bruce Lee did not arrive yet in Hong Kong, and because you have to know one thing, when this guy came in Hong Kong in the early 70s, he put a lot of pressure on everyone to obviously create some incredible and true hand-to-hand fighting scenes, because before Bruce Lee, I mean, all actors like David Chang and Ting Long were actors first and martial artists second, but this guy was martial artist first, and actor second. So and because of his success, all of the Hong Kong martial art film started to change and they started to enroll and engage real martial artists. A good example is Hwang Jong-lee, the Korean master kicker who plays a lot of villain. He plays opposite Jackie Chan in Drunken Master and Snake and Eagle Shadow. But this one is just before Bruce Lee arrives, so it's not a workshop picture. It's Ting Long going to Thailand, and he went to fight some Thailand boxer, and the action is normal. So this one is more like a 6 out of 10, and the action is not that good. So he went back and did, this is a great classic Chinese legendary tale, The Water Merchant. If you play a bit of PlayStation Suikoden series, the 108 soldiers you have to recruit. This is the one of the original stories. There's a lot of great actors in that one, and it's highly recommended if you like fantastical, and there's a lot of weapons, and each hero has his own skills, so it's very nice. Blood Brother, a good one. I would say this one again wanted to input more hand-to-hand kung fu film scene, but it's good. Obviously, it's not as fast and as great as the later one, but early 70s. This one is highly rated. It's a war film, directed by Chang Cheh, and again starring David Chang and Ting Long. And the action and the story is pretty good. And a cool fact about that one, you can see Yong Wu Ping. He had a small cameo in that film. So yeah, everybody worked at the Shaws back then. Okay, so now the Wuxia late 60s, early 70s film are done. We're starting to get the classics ones. So because and well, let's just begin with this one. Now this is a must-buy, guys. Heroes 2. Okay, this film star Chen Kun Tai, a